Boom! Hello again. This is Kai and Tara with Conversations Worth Having, and we are going to dig right into the word that I don't want to say. It's this word that starts with a G, and to me, it's a really ugly word. I want to give it a nickname like Grieve or something that's more
No,
cool because I don't like the
I
word.
will say I think that's disrespectful to what happens when we lose somebody. Like it's not just sadness that we feel. We feel so much, and that is why we call it grief, is because it covers all of the feelings. Because we feel so much when we lose someone we care about and someone we really love, and
I
someone
don't
who's walked.
like it
I
regardless. I
know.
know that Tara is a trained therapist and she's absolutely incredible at what she does, but I don't like the word grief because it's so real and it's so raw and it's very painful. And today we're not talking about just grief. We're gonna really focus on one specific grief today because grief is like such a broad conversation,
Yeah,
and we're gonna talk about losing someone who has four legs.
it's a hard one.
Yeah, that kind of grief.
So
We
as we're starting this, though, I do want to say some of this is going to feel lighthearted, obviously, talking about the pets that's why I plan to talk about the pets I've lost and that I loved and what they gave to me in my life. And I hope that people who can watch this feel comfortable sharing their stories of the animals they've loved and what they've done for them, and share a picture, share underneath in the comments, because that is actually one of the best ways to process your grief, is to still remember and honor the ones we've lost, and in a way they're still with us in a moment when we do that. So it's a way to keep memories alive and keep the ones we love alive and with us. So share with us on this.
Oh my gosh, I love that, Tara. That's so beautiful. I totally agree with you. I have our dog Talon right next to well, not next to my bed, but there's a shelf with his ashes and his big huge picture because that's what I remember him being, just this um incredible presence in our life. And he came into our life in 2011. He's a pit bull, and my husband brought him home in the time where I thought pit bulls were going to like attack my throat any moment because I was very, very ignorant at the time. And I listened to people that were also ignorant. And actually, Talon was the most incredible first furry child in our household. And he was so much more than a dog. He was a human with dog's personality. But it is a story of him, Talon, who his old name was Bandit, and he was already put on the list in Burlington County shelter because he had been in the shelter for over 7 months, and then they kind of, if nobody, adopts them, it's bad news. Our relationship with Talon did move quite fast, and we fell in love even faster. We started to live together in 2011 and decided that we're gonna get a dog. But when we did get Talon, then the relationship was faster than the relationship with me and my husband. Um, he- I remember the first night we brought him home. The only person I knew who also had a pit bull was my very dear friend Alex, who lived almost an hour away. And I texted Alex about 1700, which is 5 p.m., and asked her to please come on over because I thought that any moment this brand new pit bull was going to attack me because I guess, like I said, I was really ignorant. And she assured me that pit bulls are the most loving and incredible dog on the planet, that I will be fine. And a lot of people, by the way, in my life always tell me, you will be fine, like they know me. And as I sat there on the
With
couch,
you.
You as
on for
well.
the
You're like, you'll be fine. But as I sat there on the couch, Talon, aka Bandit at the time, was sitting on his brand new bed. I was too scared to move, as Talon was about 50 pounds at the time, and I was a 102-pound tiny little young woman. And ignorant and scared, I finally needed to use the restroom, and I got up. Talon, Bandit, Dallin, started following me into the hallway, and I think he just wanted to play and move because he had been in the shelter for 7 months, so he's not used to all this freedom. And he
right.
jumped on the back of me because for some reason I was also dragging a blanket with me. I don't know why. And he thought that I wanted to play tug of war with him, but nobody. I was just going into the bathroom. After he jumped at me, I thought again he would most likely kill me. Wow, I was beyond ignorant. And as the evening continued, I started talking to Talon like he was a human, just full-blown conversations. I was just like, "So, how you doing? Do you not like your new house, or what do you think of the toy?" And as time passed, Talon and I became inseparable. I opened my own gold buying business at the age of 25, and guess who was always at work with me? Yup. You guessed it, Talon was. Sometimes people came in who seemed suspicious or a little bit edgy, and I always asked them, "Hey, do you want to meet my dog?" So that's basically my love story with Talon, but I have so many more stories, and I want to hear Tara's story because I know that there was a recent angel she gained in dog human heaven, and I want to hear more about her beautiful pup as well.
Yeah. So the first aunt dog I ever had was named Abby, and she was a little schnauzer dog. And my parents let us get her, and she was somewhere before middle school, and she passed when I was I pregnant? I think I was pregnant with my son. So we had her a long time, and losing her was devastating, absolutely devastating. I had no idea what that process was like. I don't even remember the vet's name, but he was a dick, and I don't think he meant to be. But he was like, "Okay, her heart stopped. You can be with her until you want to leave." And I was like, "What in the world?" It was horrific, so sad. I could not handle it. So fast forward many years, actually not that many years, probably about 8 years. We got a dog. My daughter was a baby. I was at work. I did not have a say so in this dog, other than I was told, well, we're probably gonna go pick up a puppy from the pound. Someone had dumped a mom and her little pups. And I got home and it was this little tiny, like fit in my hands like this, beagle, Chihuahua, Jack Russell, weird mix. And they gave her a human name, which I thought was weird, even though Abby's a human name too. But I was like, what in the world? They named her Chloe. And Chloe was the sweetest, kindest dog. And I swear she helped me with my parenting because my son, who's very reserved and very kind of keeps to himself sometimes, I knew if while I was talking to him, Chloe showed up and would lean on him, I knew that he was having a hard time, that he was getting upset and just, it wasn't showing anywhere. And so I knew that if Chloe showed up, I had to back off a little bit. I had to be a little gentler in my approach here because my son's a good son. Like he's fine, but sweetest dog ever. And so when we moved down here to San Diego, she came with us, and luckily she was deaf at that point because she would not have liked apartment living if she could hear everybody. But luckily she couldn't. She was still the sweetest dog, my little companion, kept me going, go for the walks, all that stuff. But then she developed doggy dementia. And so we kept her comfortable for the year that we got her. And there came a time when I could tell she didn't recognize my son right away when he came by to visit. And I was like, oh, it's getting bad now. And I talked to the vet, and this time we had a vet come into the home. And so we could all be with her and say goodbye to her. So meaningful to have that ability to say goodbye in that way with her. But she was one of the best, most supportive little weird super mutt dogs you could ever ask for. And it was just so meaningful to me. But I also had a shepherd that we lost. And the vet also came here. My son was not here when we had to put her down. Her back end went out. And it was such a loving experience to get to say goodbye to my animal in that way when I hadn't gotten that with Abby, that I tried telling myself, I was like, it was so beautiful. I hope you can do this when it's Chloe's time. And then 2 years later, it was Chloe's time. And he even said, he goes, I wish I had been here with Jem then, because you're right. This was beautiful. And it was so loving and supportive. And we got to celebrate her and be with her. And the cat got to say goodbye. And now I've adopted a Schnauzer dog again. So we went full circle from Abby back to little Schnauzer dog Perry. We're still working on training, trying to make him a therapy dog. He's a sweetheart, but he definitely helped ease some of the grief from losing Chloe. But
I
it's
absolutely love all of our four-legged companions, and I don't think they, in their short lives that they're here, because they're not nearly here long enough that we would want them to live until, I don't know, 125, but not be in pain. And I think people who are pet owners will really understand. It's really like losing family member for
not
sure.
like it is. You're losing a
Yeah,
family.
yeah. Like we'll really dig into grief like more about humans as well. But I lost my father many, many years ago, and the grief was quite comparable with our dog. The first week or so, I couldn't leave the house. Like we left the next morning just to go for a walk, but I felt like I was this in this bizarre dream. Like I'm looking myself right next to myself, but I wasn't in myself. Like grief to me is always kind of like there's the grieving me, and then there's the me who's just like, oh yeah, you're feeling those feelings where you just are so beside yourself that you feel like you're dreaming, but then you wake up from a dream and it's not a dream.
Yeah.
And it's like that continuation of pain one day to the next, to the next, to the next. And it was a good week or so until me and my husband like stopped sobbing. It was I was like I had no idea that my body could produce that many tears, which of course did tell me that I'm drinking good, enough water, but it was so painful. And it's still painful. We're finding hair like still in like places that you
Yeah.
couldn't think that you can still find your dog's hair in. And it brings back, how much the animals really give us. So they're definitely there to be like respected and loved and talked to. And valued, because a pet is family. So please don't keep your pets in cages if you're at home. Like that is, nobody wants to live like that, right? So they are part of our family, and they are there to really help us become the best version of ourselves. I remember getting our first orders to Edwards Air Force Base, um, and it's very different from Jersey because there's no trees, there's everything is brown. It's not at all like Jersey or Estonia. And Talon was the thing that kept me going. Like I had to take him out for walks because I have a dog,
Yep.
and he would always listen to me, and he didn't talk back, and he would always agree. So we were BFFs, and it's so difficult. What are some of the ways, Tara? Like you are a trained therapist, and you went through the grief. Like, does being a trained therapist help you with grief?
No. No.
No.
Grief is grief is primal. And I wish more people could kind of understand that. Like I can help people if we get to the point your grief has gone on, it's impacting your work, sure, I can work with you. We can do different, there's different approaches to take. But that initial loss, whether that's a human or a four-legged friend, a cat, even like we haven't really mentioned cats because I haven't lost my cat yet. He still stalks around, loves me. Grief is primal. Grief is a very primal. All humans are going to experience it at some point, unless you're seriously mentally ill, and it's deep, and it's something I think we have to experience. We have to honor it. I don't think we do well if we try to put it in a box. We try to do this. You have to give yourself the time and the space to feel the feels, to cry. I ugly cried like when I lost all my dogs. I ugly cried. Could not work, like puffy face, the whole thing. Like I cannot do this. Now, did it continue on and on? No, I still have my moments though where I get sad. I have a great dog now, sweet dog that I'm pretty sure Chloe sent me because she knew I needed a good dog, but I still miss her when I look at him. They look nothing alike. This is another thing. I miss my Gem Gem. She was the sweetest German Shepherd people were scared of her. She's gorgeous. I'll send a picture. We can put it on our Instagram. But
Yes,
she was
definitely.
gorgeous, sweetest, gentlest pup. My dad will tell you stories about how smart she was. Like she saved our neighbor's house from getting broken into and still loved to take treats from their toddlers. Like she was just the best dog. You're going to feel grief. There's nothing you do. Cry. Build the shrine if you want to. We can't let it take precedence over work and other things, but you can. Grief is a living thing that carries with us sometimes, and it'll hit you blindsided like a wave you didn't see coming. Ride the wave. Do your best, like, because that's. I mean, that's the cost of loving deeply in my mind. Like, the grief we feel is the cost of loving deeply. I would not. I had Chloe for 16 years, which is huge. I mean, dogs don't always. I only had Jem for not even quite 12. She was just shy of 12 years when we lost her. I wouldn't turn in any of that because of the pain I feel not having them. Like, every bit of it was worth it. And that's the cost. And I'm willing to
No.
embrace the cost to have all of those fantastic memories and the love and the support. And when Perry leans against me, that's the new dog. I'm now stuck giving human names to dogs. When he leans against me and everything, I think it's fantastic. I'm like, oh, this is why I'm going to love you for the next over a decade and go through the goodbye again when we have to. And I will be there with you and hold your paw because you deserve that. You earned that love from me. It's
Yeah,
fantastic. But grief is a beast. Grief is a
it
nasty
is.
beast. And
Yeah.
but it's also because of how much we loved that we even experience it.
I
And I don't
the
I'm not gonna deny it. I want the love and I want all the good things too, so I'll take the cost.
I agree with you. I think it's very healthy to feel all your emotions. Like, don't let them consume you.
No.
But a very good friend of mine who, well, technically she's my best friend, but life has taken us to so many different continents. But she taught me how to grieve because I tend to linger it on to the point where I don't want people around me sad with my grief. So she's like, well, here's what you do. She's like, you take
Yeah.
out the timer, you put it in a reasonable time, 25 minutes, 30, 15 minutes. You put that timer on and you ugly grieve. Like,
Yeah.
you down on your knees, screaming if you have to, crying
Yep.
why, getting it all out. And then when that timer goes, beep bop bow, boop you put it stop, try to wash your face off, and try to
Cold
go
water.
on about your day. As long as there's been some time that has elapsed, because that first week that we lost Talon, there was no timer. I mean, I couldn't even, like, I couldn't, thank God that I'm a homeschool mom, I could not function. That's how
Yeah.
deep the grief is. I was like, I got up and not hearing his pause in the hallway and still feeling like I'm hearing phantom pause, but knowing that he's definitely not here was, you can't put it into words. It sucks. Like, there's no
Yeah.
other way to say it. It sucks so bad.
Yeah.
And me and my husband both, we were grieving like hard.
Yeah.
Um, and for me, when the grief hit so hard, I didn't want to be around my phone. I didn't want to feel like I need to help people grieve their emotions with my dog and then them taking out on, like, oh, I remember when I lost my dog. I couldn't handle that at that time. So my phone was off a lot because I don't want to feel like I can't grieve my grief. And then somebody else is like, oh, I remember, because I tend to do that to try to connect to people's grief, but sometimes people just want to grieve. Let them grieve. Give them time. Don't overstep their grief. Like, let people grieve. Be like, I'm here for you. I love you. That's it.
And don't get me wrong, I'll fully acknowledge this. When people compare having a dog to raising a child, I'm like, get out of here with that. That's not the same.
No,
You love them a lot, but it's not quite the same as
no,
raising a child.
no.
Um, but with grief, the grief is the same, I think. When as losing someone, you may grieve a little bit more when you lose your mom. You might grieve a little bit more if you lost your best friend, but these are our best friends. So
Hmm.
don't minimize my grief around losing my dog.
Yeah.
And I say that as someone who does when kind of minimize. People are like, oh, I know what you mean. I have a dog, and you're like, no, you don't know what I mean. But that's okay. If I said I lost my grandfather, it's been hard. They said I can relate. I lost my dog. I'd be like, yes, yes. See, that's the same.
Mm.
And people can disagree with me on that one. That's fine. But from my point of view, that grief is similar when you lose a four-legged friend compared to losing anybody else in your world.
1000%. Let's make those incredible animals known on our Instagram with conversations we're having with Kai and Tara. Like, flaunt the
Yeah.
shine. Like, just love the pets you've lost because they will always keep living in our hearts, and it's okay to
Yeah.
cry. It's okay to cry. It's okay if
And
you
love
want to
the ones
cry
you
with
have.
us. Like we'll cry
Yeah.
with you.
And love the
But
ones you still have.
this is Conversations Worth Having with Kai and Tara, and we are so grateful you're here, and we can't wait to see your beautiful pets on our Instagram. Just comment below our pets, and we'll see you next time. Thank you so very much. Bye bye.